Now, this video is sponsored by Paperlike. More on that later. You know, the iPad has been confusing. A little too powerful to be just a tablet, but never quite enough to replace my Mac. Now, every year, I ask the same question. Is this the year the iPad becomes my main computer? And honestly, until now, the answer has been a frustrated not yet. But with iPadOS 26, things are different. Almost scary different, actually. So I spent a week using just my M2 iPad Pro 12.9 inch as my daily driver. And here's what surprised me. Now let's talk about multitasking first, because it's finally good. Apple has redesigned the Stage Manager to feel more fluid. I can now resize windows with way more freedom, and yes, you can overlap them like a real desktop. Now it's not just floating apps this time, it's a workflow. And get this, for the first time ever, external display supports full app control. No mirroring nonsense. My iPad now recognizes my 4K monitor as its own space. Feels like I've got a dual monitor MacBook with an Apple Pencil support. But before I go further, I want to show you something that made a huge difference in how I use this iPad daily. Now, you know that feeling when you're writing on an iPad and it's just too slippery and it doesn't even feel right? Yeah, me too. That's why I've been using the Paperlike 2.1 on my M2 iPad Pro. Now, this screen protector turns glass into something that feels like paper. Whether I'm sketching, writing sermon notes, or just scrolling with my Apple Pencil, it's smooth, grippy, and way easier on the eyes.
In comparison, this is what it sounds like when you write on the old iPad without the Paperlike. And this is what it sounds like with Paperlike.
Plus, it diffuses glare, which matters when you're, working outside or near a window. And no, it doesn't mess with your beautiful display quality, which actually is pretty surprising to me. Now, huge thanks to Paperlike for sponsoring this video. And if you want your iPad to feel like a real notebook or sketchpad for that case, I'll drop a link below and go ahead and check it out. All right, let's go back to iPadOS 26 because multitasking isn't the only glow up here. Next up is the Spotlight search is way smarter now. You can type natural phrases like images I edited last week and it'll just show up. It's using on-device intelligence, which is fast and private. Now Siri got an upgrade too. You can now speak back-to-back commands without saying, "Hey Siri" again. And she's way better at understanding context, like for example, asking, "Open the last note I made," and it just knows. There's also custom control center pages. So you can now swipe through pages of shortcuts. I have one for filming, one for home automation, and one for Bible study tools. You know me, right? And the real kicker, the Final Cut Pro now works side by side with Files and Safari editing. Sourcing B-roll, uploading, all from the iPad. If you're a content creator, this is huge.
Now, those are just the key features that I want to show you guys in this video. I have a full breakdown of it on the top link, so make sure to check that out to see the full extent of the features of iPadOS 26.
So, is the iPad finally ready to replace my Mac? I would say not quite, but for the first time, I don't feel stuck when I leave my Mac at home. iPadOS 26 made this M2 iPad Pro feels like a real computer with touch. And when you pair it with the right accessories like Paperlike and Apple Pencil, It goes from almost to actually usable. I still miss some pro level automation tools on my Mac and file management that could, it could be tighter for sure, but wow, this is the closest it's ever been. If Apple ever makes a touchscreen Mac, it'll probably feel like this. Now, if this video helped you, hit the like button and consider subscribing. And if you want to turn your iPad into a creative machine, check out the Paperlike in the description below. Now, this is Paul from Tech Tricks, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!